I met my first entrepreneur when I was pretty young, as in the womb, kind of young. She didn't quite know it yet, and I didn't really have the brain power to know just about anything yet, but by the time I blew out 5 candles in 1998, my mom was about to start a company. And strangely enough, despite the fact that our family's entire livelihood depended on this creation of one risk-taking venture, the word entrepreneurship didn't exactly make its way into my vocabulary until the end of high school. And today, as a graduating senior, it's everywhere. It's on the political stump, it's on the silver screen, and all over campus, and right here all over Southeast Michigan. And it was actually always my older brother who was the one with all the millions of crazy startup ideas. Neighbors, teachers, friends, they would always ask, "So when's your brother gonna start that company? What's Jim doing right now?" And in this case, that company could actually refer to just about one of any 3 ideas he was juggling at once. What I saw in Jim, in my parents, and in the many entrepreneurs in Seattle where I grew up was what I became to define to be what was an entrepreneur. It's what I forever associated with the word. Jim never told everybody that he was going to set out and be an entrepreneur. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, he never exactly announced to the world that he was going to be an entrepreneur either. To me, an entrepreneur isn't really something you can just become. I think, in fact, it's in actuality the byproduct of what you want to build, what you want to create. Now, Jim was always running around the house telling us about these huge problems he was seeing and how he wanted to solve them and conquer them through the means of starting a business, a profitable business, a venture, a scalable venture. But now let's pause for a second before we go any further. You might be thinking, okay, if an entrepreneur is more of a byproduct of what you're creating, then wouldn't any person creating anything be an entrepreneur? Wouldn't that painter who's just created a brand new painting, wouldn't that person be an entrepreneur? Or maybe that new recipe you just threw together. Maybe that would be an act of entrepreneurship too. And not quite so. So first of all, the painter creating that painting is A, a painter, and B, probably really talented. And that new recipe you threw together, it means you are A, no longer hungry, and B, an evolved college student for not just simply dialing the number to Pizza House. In the summer of 2011, I interned at the Kauffman Foundation for Entrepreneurship. It's a $2.5 billion foundation dedicated to all this madness. And at the time, I too was getting really confused with it all. So I decided to pick the brains of those who might know best, managers at the foundation, industry authors like Eric Ries, student leaders, and entrepreneurs themselves. And this is what they came up with. Now, everyone's definition precisely is a little bit different of what an entrepreneur really is, but here's what sticks like glue for all of them. It's A, someone who starts a business, B, someone who creates something new, fulfilling a previously neglected opportunity, C, probably takes on a lot of risk, and D, probably has a few screws loose. So here's the big secret that everyone's sort of missed out on, I think. Not everyone has to be an entrepreneur. That's okay. It's really okay. You don't need to be. Think about it this way. If everyone were starting a business, doing that whole building an airplane as I'm falling out of the sky thing, then I'm not quite sure how the world would function effectively on a day-to-day basis. But I can tell you a little bit about something that people are doing on a day-to-day basis, and one that is actually very intimately friendly with the concept of entrepreneurship. And that's creation. The whole concept of creating something new, the activity of creating something new, of seeing a problem and having this chickenpox itch to solve it. And here at the University of Michigan, we're seeing this activity go down on a daily basis at the Creators Co-op. When I first arrived at Michigan, I knew exactly one person in this entire state and the 5 states bordering it. And I was a West Coast kid. I fell asleep to the sound of rain and suddenly woke up to the sight of snow as my sidewalk. As I stepped foot on campus, I searched for specifically 2 things. One, similar like-minded people who shared this interest in startups, and also the resources to go ahead and pursue these interests. Right off the bat, then, I didn't actually join any student entrepreneurship organizations. Instead, I gravitated to the immediate source of these 2 things. So I went towards the Center for Entrepreneurship, And I also went out to the greater Ann Arbor business community and startup community to find people who were actively already building companies, people who were really doing it already, people who'd been there, people who'd done that, people who walked the walk and really talked that talk. But after all these meetups and events, these people disappeared, and I had no idea where to find them again. I had no idea where was the one place on campus that I could pinpoint and know if I went there, I would be able to find people just as a little bit crazy as I was. There was no single place on campus at the time for like-minded students to come together. But this year, here's how it all changed. It all changed with the help of a Michigan alum, an NFL player, and a student of the residential college, or RC. I'm talking about one person in particular. He's all three of those things, Dhani Jones. And on top of that, he's a philanthropic entrepreneur. The Creators Co-op is a live-in collaborative space for the highest potential students on campus. Highest potential student entrepreneurs who are interested in all this craziness. It's part playground, it's part family. And for all, more than anything, it's a home. It's a home for busy builders and thinkers with that chickenpox itch to take action. We're a space for students, by students. We're a separate nonprofit organization. And each year, we welcome our doors and open them to our class of creators, students with a track record of actively having built and shipped something in the past. It could be anything. Our space is open 24/7, empowered by partners like Steelcase and Sonos Audio. We supplement our workspace with programming, with field trips, with speaker series and workshops and public build nights. And this is a shot, actually, from one of our first field trips this year. We went to Detroit, and we went to downtown Detroit to listen to the war stories of Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Quicken Loans family of companies. So here is our light bulb moment. Remember, not everyone has to be an entrepreneur, right? So to run a company in college, in fact, it really just leaves you with two options. You either have to stop going to class or just drop out altogether. But there's no reason at all we can't be practicing the act of creation, practicing the process of shipping, practicing a new way of seeing opportunities through problems. And better than anything, we're doing it together. We're doing it with the help of the best in the business. We're doing it with people who've been there, who've done that, and with all the other crazy, hungry, wildly energetic creators that are out there. This year, we're happy to have accepted a class of 60 creators. We've field tripped to Detroit. We field tripped to Zingerman's to have dinner with its co-founder. And we're proud of what our creators have done and where they've come from. They come from 3 continents, and they come from over a dozen states and almost as many disciplines. They build crazy, crazy things. Everything from a retractable longboard to a window cleaning business to launching a literary magazine on campus, Glimpse. And we're interdisciplinary. We believe that diverse teams make for the strongest ideas and the strongest action. So we have students studying everything under the sun. They're studying public policy, programming the environment, art and design, English, engineering, business, and everything in between. So before I leave here today, I want to thank everyone in the audience who is a creator, who's a member of this home that we've built together, a home so cozy that you don't even have to keep your shoes on. I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank our team members for jumping on board this rocket ship and flying to a whole nother universe together. To our partners who've made this happen every single day and possible for us to do what we do. And to leave you with the last few words.
What's up, University of Michigan? I bet you guys didn't expect to see me here. Well, I'm not going anywhere. I went to school here. I graduated from here. I played for the greatest football team. Also graduated from the residential college. But most importantly, I worked with people. I collaborated. I went to North Campus. Worked with engineers, artists, music, biology, chemistry, LS&A, PR. We worked all together. We collaborated. And that's the greatest thing about the University of Michigan. We work together. And here at the Creators Co-op, we do the same thing. It's a comfortable environment where you feel like you're at home. And when you graduate, you'll come back, just like I did. We'll see you at the Creators Co-op.
So with that, thank you very much.